Hello, Auditorium team. I'm so glad that you are on this team. If you're serving on this team, you've probably gotten a request for a few different positions. That could be auditorium door 1, 2, 3, or 4. That could be auditorium seating. Those team members are also serving as our prayer line host. Or maybe you got a request for our family seating host. All of those teams, all of those positions are a part of this team huddle. And if you'll notice, we are right down the hall from kids check-in. This is gonna be where our auditorium huddle meets 35 minutes before service. Now, if you're serving on doors 1 or 2, right after team huddle, you're gonna come take your spot over here. This is door 1, and this is door 2. Now, if you're serving on auditorium doors 3 and 4, you're gonna be on the coffee bar side. That's gonna be right here, door number 3 and door number 4. Now, regardless of what door you are serving at, the same rules are gonna apply. So we wanna open the doors 10 minutes prior to service starting. So let's say a service starts at 8:30. We wanna open these doors at 8:20. That allows the team to rehearse. That allows the seating host to get all the seats prepared so that we're ready to host people well. Now, in addition to that, you're gonna open them 10 minutes before service, but we wanna close them after the first song. So you gotta be paying attention. You gotta be listening a little bit because you're gonna close them after the first song so that that lobby sound doesn't continue to leak inside. And then we want you to stay at your station, stay at your door 15 minutes into service. Now, if you are serving as an auditorium seating host, you're gonna find your position in the auditorium itself. Now, typically, we like to have 2 people per middle aisle. So you'd have me, you'd have another person, you'd have a person in the back, and then a person in the front there. And then we like to roster at least 1 person for each of the walls. So we call those like the outer sections. So you got 6 people and an auditorium leader. You guys are tag teaming, making sure that people are getting the best spot available to them. So let's say you are rostered in this spot. We want you interacting with people as they walk into the auditorium, figuring out how many people are in their party. Once you realize they have 2 or 3, you're going to then wave down the person behind you and let them know how many people are in that party and ask them to go up front and be seated there. We want to be seating people from the front to the back. This allows them to have the best seat available, but it also allows us to be able to track how many people we have in the room, and it gives us a better cue as to when we need to add seats for any type of special event like Easter or Christmas. Now, as an auditorium seating host, like I mentioned, we want to make sure people are sitting from the front all the way to the back. And the way that we do this is, come with me. We have these stanchions in place. They're going to be in place before every single service. And this is just a guideline for people. It lets them know, hey, we got seats up here, but if we don't have to sit right here, that would help us out a ton. So as the front rows fill up, we can then move the stanchions a couple rows at a time. And then by the time service gets started, so that 10 or 15 minute period that you're seating people, I mean, the goal is that this place would be filled up and we end up moving these all the way to the back. This is more just to help us with the process of too many people getting in just random spots, and then it's hard to seat them towards the middle. So if we can use these, we want to do that. Now, as a seating host and even as an auditorium leader, you're going to want to know where all of our elements are. Things like seating tags, things like invite cards. That's all going to be right in this cabinet. Don't worry, it's never really locked, but we have offering envelopes, we've got new believer cards, we've got extra Kleenex, whatever we would need to put in the seats or refill the seat backs. It's gonna be in this cabinet. So if you're ever trying to figure out where stuff is and you can't find me and you can't find the leader, just check the cabinet and I promise it'll be there. Now, you've probably realized being a seating host is a little bit more involved, and I My personality loves that. If that's not for you, we can get you on a door, no worries. But within service, not only are you seating people, but once those people have been seated and service begins, worship is over and the host comes up to pray for the people and share announcements. That's going to be our cue to go to the back and get our offering buckets. So there's typically going to be 4 people rostered at least for every aisle. We'd like to have a few more, but we can do it with 4. Long story short, you're going to grab the buckets and just get prepared. We're just going to get in place because we don't want to start passing the buckets until the video starts after whoever is hosting on stage, after their bit is done, then we're going to go up front as the video begins. As an auditorium seating host, depending on how many people we have rostered, you may be asked to also serve as a prayer line host. Now, while those are 2 different roles, the auditorium seating hosts are expected to be able to do both. So we have a time in our service where after the first song there's a prayer moment, but we also have the time at the end of service where there is a prayer moment where whoever is singing on stage invites people from the audience to receive prayer from our prayer host. Notice the difference. There's prayer host and then there's prayer line host. If you are rostered as a prayer line host, upon that cue from the stage, you're just going to make your way to the front of each aisle. So we want to have 1, 2, 3, 4. And as people make their way down the aisle to receive prayer, we just want to guide them to the open prayer host. We want to stay up here as long as people want to receive prayer. We are going to host them. So be thinking about that. There's usually a moment during service, and then there's a moment at the end of service. If you're rostered for that position, that's really all it is. Now, if you're serving on the auditorium team, you may get a request for a family seating host position. And all that means is you are going to be the family seating host, which is the last 2 rows of each of our farthest sections, each of our outer areas. You're going to be their host, and we want to give these families who have children ages infant up to pre-K, we want to give them a first-class experience. What does that look like? Well, that means we want to be right up here close to doors 1 and 2 and close to doors 3 and 4. And as families are walking in and they have little ones, we want you to approach them and invite them into your section. We want you to introduce yourself, let them know that you are here and happy to help them find a seat. And then as service gets going, we always want to offer what I call a little goodie bag. So our family seating bags, they have goldfish, they have fruit snacks, they have a coloring page, and then we have this little card that essentially just says, hey, if your kid becomes too active, too energized, needs to get that energy out, maybe they're crying, maybe they just can't seem to calm down in service, we just want to let them know that we have an incredible viewing experience in the lobby. The service is always going to be playing in the lobby. We also have a nursing mother's room that is completely private. There's actually like lounge chairs and a 40-inch TV in that room. And then we want to let them know, hey, our kids area is incredible. There is amazing services, there is amazing content, and they're not just having fun, but they're actually learning about the Bible as well. So we want to offer them a chance to get their kid checked in and potentially drop their kid off in service so that the parent can come back and enjoy service in the auditorium. So that's kind of the high fly gist of family seating. You might be invited to shadow with one of our leads for this position, but I wanted to let you know that's really all that's going on back here.